There are new signs the state is flattening the coronavirus curve. It's encouraging news as the state looks ahead to eventually reopening. While Maryland sees a jump of nearly 1,000 coronavirus cases, hospitalizations and ICU admissions are stabilizing. More than 1,200 people have died from the virus. WJZ is live. Amy Kawada brings us the latest developments, including some news out of Ocean City this morning. Amy.
Good morning, Max. Last night, the mayor of Ocean City announced that some local attractions will reopen this weekend, but only for local residents. The mayor of Ocean City announced Monday night at the city council meeting that the beach, boardwalk, and inlet parking lot will open this Saturday to local residents only. The governor's stay-at-home order is still in effect, and people will still have to practice social distancing in groups of less than 10 people.
These are tough, dark, and difficult times.
Maryland lawmakers promised help for Baltimore and other cities bleeding money since the pandemic began. It comes as the U.S. Senate is back in session.
If we continue to move forward without getting money to local government, it's going to affect the basics.
The federal government must step up. The health and welfare of the people of our state are directly involved in this.
But they cautioned against opening the state too quickly.
So we want to make sure that we do it the right way, that we follow exactly what our healthcare professionals are telling us to do, and we'll reopen when they said we shall reopen.
State leaders are facing pressure to lift restrictions. A coalition of business owners and pastors, along with 4 state delegates, filed a federal lawsuit against Hogan, saying his stay-at-home order is unconstitutional.
I think it's safe to reopen as long as we use our brains and do what we need to do as a community.
On the health side, Maryland has seen steady hospitalization numbers, with 14 more patients overall on Monday. Intensive care patients are down by 2. Maryland has been working in tandem with Virginia and D.C. Virginia's governor announced that the state could begin phase 1 of reopening on May 15th. Reporting live this morning, I'm Amy Kawada for WJZ.
Amy, thank you. There are traffic pattern changes around Lake Montebello in northeast Baltimore. This allows people getting in some safe exercise. WJZ's live at Lake Montebello. Mike Hsu with the changes being put into place. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Max. You can see that there are 2 roadways circling this lake here, one for cars and one for people. Well, now all of the pavement out here is for people.
Quarantine and the spring weather are having their effect.
They don't want the cars to interfere with people walking.
Tired of being cooped up, sunshine and physical activity can get us through this, and Lake Montebello is serving as the go-to place.
I'm meeting up with my friend to do some social distance exercising.
The city launched what's called Slow Streets. It's a pilot program to expand walking and biking options in places with enough room for social distancing. The city says it was successful in Druid Hill Park, so now it's being brought here.
When you're inside all the time, it's really bad for your mental health. So being able to exercise helps release those endorphins.
The road circling Lake Montebello will be closed from now on to cars.
Other cities around the world are doing this. There's no reason why Baltimore couldn't also be a leader on open streets, healthy streets for the people who live here.
So this was quite popular yesterday. They are asking you if you come out here to stay 6 feet apart from everybody and to bring a mask. There are quite a few people out here already this morning. I'm Mike Hsu reporting live at Lake Montebello for WJZ.
Mike, thank you. The coronavirus pandemic continues to kill Americans. There are now well over 1 million cases in the country, and the death toll is now approaching 70,000 in just 2 months. Yet much of the country is moving to relax the social distancing rules aimed at slowing its spread. 8 states, including Maryland, continue to report sharp increases in the number of new COVID-19 cases. Only 5 are seeing a similar drop in cases.
You reopen too soon, or you reopen unintelligently, and you can then have an immediate backlash. The truth is that nobody knows what happens next and when it happens.
The University of Washington model has nearly doubled its projected number of U.S. deaths by August. We have an update on how COVID-19 is affecting people inside Maryland prisons. There have been a total of 244 cases behind bars so far during this pandemic. That includes 171 officers, 61 inmates, and 12 non-uniformed staff. So far, 78 officers have recovered, along with 17 inmates. 2 inmates have died. Both were at the Jessup Correctional Facility. Stay at home or go to work. Some people, especially those in the service industry, are making more money on unemployment than they did before the pandemic. Avajoy Burnett tells us why some are facing a tough decision about what the best option is.
When Congress passed the Payroll Protection Program, also known as PPP, out-of-work Americans welcomed the financial relief. Now, weeks in, they're running into a tricky decision: go back to work and make less money, or stay at home and make more on unemployment.
Why would you come back to work when you can make more money staying at home?
Patrick Russell owns a few businesses, and he said he qualified for the PPP, but his restaurants are empty because of the stay-at-home order. That means no tips for his servers, busboys, or bartenders who rely on them.
When you go from doing, millions of dollars in business to nothing, God bless you, then we're all in the same boat.
People in the service industry have a tough decision to make once the economy starts to reopen.
It's just been a nightmare with the unemployment.
We spoke with a nail technician who's getting a fraction of her base salary from her employer. And because of that, she says she no longer qualifies for federal unemployment. But she's still unable to go into the salon to generate her normal income through tips.
We're kind of in that catch-22. We're not physically there, and we're hurting in other respects, too. We don't have the tips, the cash flow coming in that we're used to having.
Russell believes the first steps will be to partially open up.
As we are able to grow that, I'll bring more people back. Because the idea is to make sure that when they come back, they can make more than what they're getting from the PPP. And until I can kind of guarantee that, they're not going to want to come back.
Russell says some of the business owners want to open up a portion of Thames Street so that they could extend their seating outside. They believe that will allow them to bring back even more workers. Avajoy Burnett for WJZ.
Of course, WJZ has everything you need to know about the pandemic. Just go to WJZ.com. Look under top stories for a list of resources, plus the most important links and numbers are under quick links.